Hello there, Prematriculants. Welcome to Educate. In this video, we'll be continuing with our biodiversity of microorganisms exercises. Now, we're given an extract here, and as they say, read the extract below. Now, the title of the extract says South Africa's water crisis and the rising cholera cases. Okay, so now let's read the extract together as we are extracting some points here. Now they say water is an essential but a scarce resource. Worldwide, an estimated 663 million people do not have access. So these people do not have access to sufficient and safe water for domestic use and for the demand is on the increase. It is estimated that the world will have to cope with a 40% water supply shortfall by 2030, which will unavoidably affect the availability of drinking water, sanitation, and food production. So in summary, this paragraph is telling us how water is essential, but it is so scarce. Basically, there are many people, 663 million people, that do not have access to sufficient and safe water so that they can use. Remember that, guys, we cannot live without water. So basically, it's a scarce resource as well. Basically, people are not getting access to clean water, access to safe water for them to be able to use to do their daily activities. And now our world has to cope up with this 40% water supply shortfall by 2030. Okay, so this is like 2030, by 2030, now it's 2025, right? So it's in about 5 years, it is estimated that 40% of the people will not be having access to water. They will have a supply shortfall. Okay, and this will actually affect the availability of drinking water, sanitation, and food production. Now, they further say that the rural communities now mostly rely on rainwater. So people in rural areas, they actually collect water when it rains. They don't really need to have tap water. For example, rural areas don't really have active municipalities that provide them with essential services such as water. So probably they will just have to go and dig a well or kind of go and wait for the rain to come, right? So they rely on rainwater. They also rely on water from the rivers. There are rivers in rural areas, of course, where you can go and get some water. And there are also streams. There are also dams as well. You can also dig a well and then be able to get some water, of which they share with animals. Look at the disadvantage now. So as much as we say that the people from rural areas, they're actually not desperate for this tap water and whatnot. They are sharing the water with animals. I mean, like the water from the rivers, the cows drink from the same rivers that people drink from. So it's kind of still not healthy as much as it is available. All right. So now the health department has recorded a high incidence of people seeking medical attention with symptoms such as vomiting, such as dehydration, and diarrhea. These are all symptoms of cholera. I've made video talking about the diseases caused by bacteria. Basically, cholera is one of the diseases that has got the following symptoms: vomiting, dehydration, and diarrhea. And the health department is recording a very high amount of people that actually are facing those problems. Now, 7.1 now says, name the microorganism that causes cholera in humans. Remember that cholera is a disease that is caused by a bacterium. The bacterium that causes cholera, it is known as Vibrio cholerae. So it's known as Vibrio. So that is the name of the microorganisms. The microorganism, the bacterium that causes a cholera is Vibrio cholerae. Then now let's go to 7.2. 7.2 now says state 2 symptoms. Now we're looking for the symptoms. Remember, the symptoms are kind of somewhat the signs or what we can see so that we know that someone has got a certain disease or infection. So in this case, we're looking for the 2 symptoms of cholera mentioned in the extract. In this case, the extract said vomiting, dehydration, and diarrhea. All of those are symptoms, but we're only going to mention 2 here. So I'm going to pick vomiting. So it's vomiting and also dehydration. All of these are symptoms of having cholera. So when you've got cholera or you're infected with the cholera, it means that you are likely to have the following symptoms. Now 7.3 now says, name the type of medicine. Name the type of medicine that is prescribed to treat cholera. Remember that for you to be able to develop an efficient medicine, you actually need to know what is causing the infection. Remember that when you are having a disease that is caused by a bacterium, you require antibiotics, because antibiotics, they can kill bacteria. Okay, when you are having a virus, for example, you will need to get a vaccine, because a vaccine is kind of a suspension of a dead form of a virus. You know that, right? So basically, the type of medicine depends on what is causing the disease. In this particular case, you've already deduced that the cause of cholera is a bacterium that is known as Vibrio cholerae, and that bacterium is a bacteria, right? So a bacteria, for a bacterium, we need antibiotics to be able to kill or to be able to destroy it. So the type of medicine that we mostly require here is antibiotics. So antibiotics, they're able to kill bacteria. We also need to remember that we have a virus that can kill bacteria, and it's known as a bacteriophage, but it is not a good choice for you to use a virus to kill bacteria. It's more like you are killing an infection using another infection, kind of not making sense. Now, the estimated population in 2030 is 8.5 billion. So this is an estimated number of people by 2030. Now calculate the estimated number of people who will have to cope with the supply shortfall in 2030. So when we read this case study, it said here it is estimated that the world would have to cope with a 40% water supply shortfall by 2030. So by 2030, they estimate the epidemiologist and all of those people, they are estimating that by 2030, 40% of the people would not be having access to water, or they would have a supply shortfall, simply meaning that. So in this case, if the population in 2030 is estimated to be about 8.5 billion people, 40% of that 8.5 billion would not be doing what? Will not be having access to clean water, or they'll be having a shortfall. So now they say calculate the estimated number of people with how many people will actually be experiencing this problem. I'm sure it's not all the 8.5 billion people will be affected, only 40% of them. So you need to do 40%. So that's 40 over 100 times 8.5 billion. 8.5 billion is what? Maths. Billion has got how many zeros? You'll find out. But so you're gonna say 40 over 100, that's 40%, times 8.5 billion people. But obviously, when you put it in your calculator, you're not going to write billion in words. You have to write it using the number of zeros that is appropriate. I don't know how many there are, 9 zeros or something like this. I don't want to write something that I'm not sure about. So now you're just going to calculate what is 40% of that. That will be the number of people that will be affected by this shortfall. Then 7.5 now says explain how water crisis will negatively affect the economy of South Africa. Remember that basically the economy of South Africa, when we're talking about economy, we're talking about work. Basically, it's all about work and jobs and people being able to provide for their families, being able to find work, all about that, surrounding the wealth of the country, in a sense. So now this water crisis, it will definitely affect the economy, because basically, you know that if this water crisis continues, most people will have cholera, so people will not be able to go to work and work for jobs and whatnot. All right. So basically, if more people, this water crisis, if more people are infected, so you can say more people. So you can talk about more people being infected here. More people will be infected, or more people will have cholera. So more people will be infected. And if more people will be infected, then they will not be able to work. Okay, you try to figure out the English. Disallowing them. I don't know if this exists, but disallowing them from working. Or you can just say that the working population of the country, most of the working population of the country will be ill, so they cannot work. Okay, so if people cannot work, then the economy will suffer, because right now we are working so that we can sustain the economy of the country. So basically, if if more workers get infected, they actually will not be able to work. But now, just fix my English there. I don't think disallowing exists in the in the English language. But basically, if more people are infected, then there will be a decrease in the working population. Okay, basically there will be less people that will be able to work for economic growth. And also this water crisis, remember that basically industries, if you know industries that manufacture and produce some things, they actually require water. All right, you cannot do any industrial activity without water. So basically you can also, okay, this is enough, but you can also add, if you want, another point. You can say that the unavailability of water, or the shortage of water, or you can say the water crisis, shortage of water, reduces industrial activity. Reduces industrial activity. So it means people will not be able to carry on with their industries. For example, remember that when I want to make amagwinya, I need water. When I want to make some bread, I need water. So if there's a shortage of water in the country, I won't be able to make bread. So basically, all of that is industrial activity. So the shortage of water reduces industrial activity in the country. And when there's a reduced industrial activity, this simply means that the economic growth will be negatively affected. So shortage of water reduces industrial activity in the country, leading to economic loss or whatever, but something in this context. So there are many things that you can say here, but basically we need water to do quite a couple of things. So without water, we'll not be able to survive. Basically, our economy would have to suffer as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, a wonderful pre-matriculants. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.